A simple house cat pulls off an incredible feat, saving all the pups from the neighbor's vicious dog. But when the owners learn the real reason behind its bravery, they are left speechless. Lily was no ordinary cat. With caramel-colored fur that shimmered like sunlight through autumn leaves, and eyes as green and deep as polished emeralds, she was impossible to miss. But what truly set her apart wasn't her beauty. It was a profound maternal instinct, unlike anything seen in most felines. The Anderson family, Sarah, Mike, and their daughter Grace, welcomed Lily into their home when she was just a frightened kitten. They had found her curled up in a damp cardboard box near a grocery store, shivering from cold and fear. Grace, only 8 at the time, instantly fell in love with the tiny creature and begged her parents to take her in. Those first few weeks were difficult. Lily hid beneath the bed, emerging only under the cover of darkness to eat. Grace, with the tender patience only children possess, spent hours lying on the floor near the bed, whispering to Lily, gently coaxing her into the light. In time, the timid kitten came to trust her new family. As the years passed, Lily blossomed into a clever, curious companion. She quickly mastered tricks that surprised even the adults, opening doors, flicking light switches, and even dragging Grace's school backpack to the front door each morning like a loyal dog. But more than her intelligence, it was Lily's heart that left the deepest impression. Once, Grace brought home a wounded bird she had found beneath a tree. Without hesitation, Lily stepped in like a guardian. She sat vigil beside the small cardboard box where the bird lay, refusing to leave its side. She watched over it, tried to nudge it toward food, and even curled around it to keep it warm. Thanks to her devoted care, the bird eventually recovered and flew again. Another time, a wild storm blew through the town, and a nest of baby squirrels was tossed from a tree into the Andersons' yard. Lily didn't hesitate. Through sheets of cold rain, she darted out and gently carried each shivering baby to the dry safety of the porch. All night she stood guard, sheltering them until the skies cleared and their mother returned. She became the neighborhood's quiet little legend. Children often stopped by the Andersons' porch just to pet her, and she never turned them away. It was as if Lily understood the need to love and be loved, in ways far beyond her species. Then one day, Sarah noticed a change. Lily had taken to sitting by the window, staring out into the distance with a look that seemed almost mournful. Her appetite dwindled, and she no longer responded to toys or treats. Concerned, the Andersons brought her to the vet. The news stunned them. Lily was pregnant. A surge of emotion swept through the family. Grace was elated at the thought of kittens. Sarah, ever the caretaker, worried about Lily's health. Mike, meanwhile, was already thinking of food bowls and litter boxes. The house buzzed with preparation. Grace crafted a cozy nest from old blankets and pillows. Mike stocked up on nutrient-rich food for expectant cats. Sarah kept a watchful eye on Lily, tracking her every movement. Then came the day. Lily, choosing solitude, retreated to a quiet corner in the shed. The family listened anxiously to the soft sounds of labor, gentle purring and occasional cries. After hours of waiting, Lily finally emerged. She was exhausted but serene. But there were no kittens trailing behind her. Mike crept into the shed, and his heart dropped. Inside the nest lay 3 tiny kittens, all lifeless. The vet, summoned at once, gently explained that stillbirths weren't uncommon, especially in young mothers. Lily was inconsolable. She refused to leave her nest, grooming her kittens, nudging them, willing them to breathe. The Andersons tried everything: toys, treats, affection, but nothing reached her. A week passed. Eventually, Lily emerged, thinner, quieter, changed. She no longer played. She spent her days staring out the window, lost in a world the Andersons could not touch. Grace tried to engage her, singing softly or placing favorite toys near her. Sarah and Mike, growing increasingly worried, consulted the vet again and again. And then, on a blistering summer afternoon, everything changed. Grace was playing in the yard when she heard a strange sound coming from beyond the fence. Curious, she crept closer. There was Lily, carrying a tiny black puppy in her mouth. Grace froze in disbelief. The pup was minuscule, whimpering softly. With gentle care, Lily set it down in the grass and began to nuzzle it lovingly, just as she had done with her lost kittens. The family rushed outside, stunned. Where had this puppy come from? Mike suggested calling animal control. Sarah hesitated. The way Lily nestled beside the pup, the protectiveness in her eyes, it was more than instinct. It was love. While the adults debated, Grace ran inside, returning with a small wicker basket and a soft blanket. She laid the puppy inside, and Lily immediately jumped in after him, curling her body around the tiny creature. Moved by the sight, Sarah and Mike agreed to keep the pup, at least until they could find his owners. Flyers went up around the neighborhood, but days passed with no response. In the meantime, Lily's devotion stunned everyone. She stayed by the puppy's side day and night, cleaning him, warming him. Then, one morning, Grace gasped. Lily was nursing the puppy. The Andersons called the vet at once. He was astounded. Though rare, he confirmed it was possible. And Lily's milk was nourishing the little pup. Every 2 hours, day and night, Lily nursed and cared for her unlikely baby. She'd wake at dawn, curling around him like the mother she had longed to be. Then, on the third day, Lily vanished again. The Andersons, assuming she was out for a stroll, thought little of it. They had no idea what she was about to do next. However, when Lily returned, she carried yet another puppy gently in her mouth. This one was slightly bigger than the first, but shared the same dark, velvety coat. With quiet determination, Lily placed the new arrival beside the first puppy in the basket and resumed her care, equal, tender, and instinctively maternal. Now the Andersons were completely mystified. Where was Lily finding these puppies? And more importantly, why was she bringing them home? Mike began to suspect that somewhere nearby, a dog had recently given birth. A mother unable or unwilling to care for her litter. Sarah considered asking around the neighborhood, hoping to find answers. But before any steps could be taken, Lily arrived with a third puppy, then a fourth, and finally, a fifth. Dick interruption. Before we continue this incredible story, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share more heartwarming tales like this one. Thank you. By the end of the week, the Anderson home had transformed into an unexpected sanctuary, now sheltering 5 tiny, dark-furred puppies, all under the devoted watch of their feline guardian. Lily rose to the challenge with astonishing grace. Though she tried tirelessly to feed her adoptive brood, it became clear her milk alone couldn't sustain them. Recognizing this, Grace took on the role of co-mother, carefully bottle-feeding the pups a nutritious formula. Lily, as if understanding the necessity, would sit nearby patiently, waiting for Grace to finish before lovingly licking each pup's face, sealing the ritual with her quiet approval. Word of Lily's unconventional family spread quickly through the neighborhood. People came from all around to witness the miracle. Some hailed Lily as a hero, a once-in-a-lifetime marvel of nature. Others, however, were less enchanted. Mrs. Parker, the elderly woman across the street, whispered suspicions to anyone who would listen. She claimed she had seen Lily sneaking through the night, wearing what she described as a mischievous expression. Rumors began to swirl. Was the cat stealing puppies? Canines in contrast. Mr. Rodriguez, owner of the local bakery, was among Lily's fiercest supporters. He brought warm, fresh loaves each morning for the Andersons, and unofficially, for Lily and her pups. A cat like that deserves something special, he often said. Children from nearby homes clamored to visit the Andersons, eager to see the magical cat and her tiny pack. Grace proudly introduced them to the pups, telling stories about each one as if they were her own siblings. But despite the warmth of the community's curiosity, not everything was going smoothly. Raising 5 puppies and a cat began to overwhelm the Anderson household. Costs skyrocketed: food, supplies, vet visits. The house was in a constant state of joyful chaos, but chaos nonetheless. Tension crept into the Anderson home. Mike and Sarah, once united in their wonder and support of Lily, now found themselves disagreeing. Arguments flared about space, finances, and what the future held. And the neighborhood started to shift as well. Whispers turned louder. Some voiced concern that if Lily truly was taking puppies from other dogs, animal control might have to step in. Mike began to feel watched. He noticed neighbors pointing at the windows, catching glances from behind curtains. One day, he even spotted a man with a telephoto lens sitting in a car outside, snapping photos of their home. The pressure wore Sarah down. Though she adored Lily and the pups, the constant scrutiny was suffocating. She dreaded leaving the house, afraid of the accusing eyes and muttered conversations. Watching her parents struggle, Grace made a decision. She would uncover the truth herself. The determined girl began her own quiet investigation. Every day after school, she sat by the window with a notebook in hand, tracking Lily's movements. She was patient, waiting for the moment the cat would slip out again so she could follow. Through it all, Lily remained blissfully unaware of the growing storm. She played with the puppies, patted them with her paws, and taught them to groom, feline style. The pups, in turn, began to mimic her, trying to swipe at their faces with uncoordinated paws, as if they too were little cats. Then came the night everything changed. As tension reached its peak, a knock echoed through the Anderson home. Opening the door, they were met by a uniformed law enforcement officer, flanked by a handful of concerned neighbors. His expression was serious. "I'd like to speak to you about your cat and the puppies," he said. He was invited inside, though the air was thick with anxiety. In the living room, Lily rested peacefully in a large basket, curled protectively.
Around her 5 pups, even the hardened officer was momentarily stunned by the sight. A cat, nursing and cuddling puppies like they were her own flesh and blood. He examined them closely, asking where they had come from. The Andersons explained everything they knew: how Lily had found the first pup, how each day she returned with another, how she'd cared for them with unwavering love. Then, Grace stepped forward. She shared what she had witnessed, Lily frequently venturing toward the old, abandoned house on the edge of town. The officer, intrigued by this lead, decided to investigate at once. Mike offered to accompany him, and the two set out toward the decaying structure. Sarah and Grace stayed behind, hearts pounding, Lily still nestled among her puppies. An hour later, the men returned. Their expressions were grave. In the ruins of that forgotten home, they had discovered a stray mother dog, sick and frail, lying amidst torn insulation and broken boards. She had recently given birth, but was far too weak to care for her puppies. Everything suddenly made sense. Lily hadn't stolen the pups. She had rescued them. Driven by a maternal instinct that surpassed biology, Lily had understood what no human had, that these babies were in danger. And knowing she could not carry them all at once, she had returned, again and again to save them one by one. News of the cat's heroic act, saving a litter of orphaned puppies, spread like wildfire, softening even the hardest hearts across town. Almost overnight, the public's perception of Lily and the Anderson family underwent a remarkable transformation. Where once there had been suspicion, now there was admiration. Where there was doubt, now there was awe. Everyone wanted to help. The kind-hearted local vet offered to treat the ailing mother dog free of charge, ensuring she received the medical care she so desperately needed. Meanwhile, Lily, unfazed by the newfound attention, continued her nurturing vigil over the puppies, now thriving under her love. The Andersons watched in wonder, marveling at how their beloved cat, the same shy kitten they'd rescued from a cardboard box years ago, had become a devoted foster mother, radiating warmth, patience, and wisdom. Then the story went viral. Photos and videos of Lily nursing the pups, licking their faces, and curling protectively around them made their way across social media. Comments poured in from around the world. People were stunned by her compassion, by the idea that such maternal instinct and selflessness could come from a creature so small. When the mother dog finally regained her strength and prepared to reunite with her puppies, everyone held their breath. Would Lily resist? Would she be jealous or hurt? But what followed stunned even the vet. Lily didn't fight the reunion. She stepped aside with quiet dignity, watching as the mother dog sniffed and nuzzled her babies. And then, gracefully, Lily resumed her place not as their mother, but as their guardian. She stayed close, watching over the reunion with serene approval, occasionally nudging a pup toward its birth mother, as if to say, "They're yours now, but I'll be here, just in case." In that moment, Lily showed the world something powerful, that love doesn't always look like we expect it to, that family isn't defined by blood, and that sometimes the smallest souls carry the biggest hearts. Lily's story changed more than just her own life. It transformed the entire community. Inspired by her example, neighbors began treating each other with newfound kindness. People who had once kept to themselves now reached out to offer help. The local animal shelter recorded a surge in cat adoptions, as though Lily's light had sparked something in every home. She became more than just a cat. She became a symbol of hope, of compassion, of what's possible when we act from love, not fear. Did this story move you as much as it moved us? Would you have let Lily keep the puppy? Would you have stood up for her like Grace and the Andersons did? Let us know in the comments below. Speech Balloon, and if this story warmed your heart, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It truly means the world to us. Paw prints in life's hardest moments. It's love and kindness that shine the brightest. Sometimes miracles don't come with wings. Sometimes they come on 4 paws. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and until then, stay kind. Orange Heart, have a beautiful day.